Hi, I'm Max Keiser. This is the Keiser Report.
I'm Stacy Herbert.
Cash, cash, cash. It's raining cash. Yen, drachma, euros, Swiss francs.
Max, actually, I'm Babyface Bernanke because it's all in U.S. dollars. We're printing only U.S. dollars. The Swiss National Bank is printing dollars. The European Central Bank is printing dollars. The Bank of Japan is printing dollars. And the whole world is happy. Europe's debt crisis prompts central banks to provide dollar liquidity. Max, everybody's happy. Why would they need dollars?
Well, if it was like 2008, they would need dollars to unwind all those derivative contracts they've used to foist financial oppression on the world.
That's correct, because the unit of fraud in the global financial system is conducted in which currency?
The U.S. dollar.
That's correct, and that's why everybody needs U.S. dollars at the moment in order to sustain this global Ponzi scheme.
Right, so they're trapped because they can't unwind their little credit freeze-ups without actually getting more dollars. So this is the great game America has played for decades, isn't it? That it's a dollar-based world, and if you don't dance to our tune, we cut off the supply of dollars, and you're trapped.
That's correct, Max. And the next headline, now it's a global bailout. Markets surge after banks band together to shore up faltering Eurozone. So the deal announced means that banks will be able to borrow any amount of money in 3 separate auctions in October, November, and December. And banks will have to put up collateral or security to tap the emergency funds.
Well, yes, this is not a situation where they are borrowing money, because that would imply that there is a bank somewhere with money to lend, which is false. There is the global lending facilities that are controlled by the banking oligarchs who issue debt-based units of fraud, and they do not require banks to have any of minimum asset or collateral value, and the result is this global Ponzi scheme where interest rates must be kept at 0. So who's subsidizing this for real? The savers, the pensioners, the workers. That's who's paying for these bailouts. That's who's paying in the end. So it's a falsehood, what they say. They speak with forked tongue.
But of course, the PSYOPs has convinced much of the global population that it's immoral for the mortgage holder to default on their debts. But in order to sustain this whole global fictitious asset market, we need to continue to print all of this money, and everybody gets happy.
They need to continue to expand the pile of debt upon which the global economy rests, because it's a Ponzi scheme. And this is happening in Europe, isn't it? They're going to go for Euro TARP, which just means that all of Europe zone will be having another new huge lending facility collateralized by nothing, as long as interest rates remain at 0, which means as long as debt slavery remains in place, the wealth and income gaps widen, and social unrest is also becoming more of a factor, isn't it? As the peasants in America, the peasants in Europe and around the world start to revolt.